Okay, we start. This is another video because many people asking about intuition, and Paul have lots of experience about intuition, and she already published 2 books. This one is the beginning, this one is once about active your psychic ability. So in case you guys are really interested about this topic, so I invite him again.
That's great, thank you.
Yeah, we already talked something about these books, but I want to ask you also why people need to activate their intuition, because I have experience also, but I want listening about your ideas.
Intuition helps you with decision making. So if you've got a choice and you're really confused, your instincts, your intuition can show you the outcome of that choice.
I got this.
So, all right. Right. Okay. And so I think it's just good decisions are a combination of logic and intuition. So you work out all the logical things, you narrow it down, then you use your intuition to go to the next step. And if you make better decisions, then you have a better life. Also, if you meditate regularly, which is the thing I'm always talking about, meditation not just for relaxation, but for working with guides, spirit guides, and working with your higher self, then firstly you'll sleep better. And if you sleep better, you're more present in the day. If you're more present in the day, you'll notice opportunities every day. You actually see what's available. To me, that's the absolute pinnacle of intuition, to notice all the opportunities. I spent a year last year just at the end of the day spending 5 minutes asking what were the opportunities I took today, what were the opportunities I missed, and just realizing that I was only taking about 10 or 15% of all the opportunities I had in a day, and I knew I'd never get it to 100%, but just to know that you've got more choices than you saw because you were busy, it's a brilliant thing. You know, you feel suddenly your life feels like it's filled with abundance rather than I'm stuck doing this.
Yeah. For me, because I was logic mind before, and I opened my intuition, and I found my life, the world is totally different, because I see something totally different. Yeah. So that's the thing I see really good. So there also have many people, they want to open their intuition, and you read your 2 books. So can you tell me about some intro about your books?
Right. So with this book, it shows you the difference between animal and spiritual intuition. Animal intuition is good for survival. And I joke, I say that the mafia use animal intuition, and that's why when the police raid them, they're not home, because they can sense it. But animal intuition is only good for yes or no answers. Spiritual intuition, you can say, if I marry this person, what will my life look like in 30 years from now? Or 20 years from now? You know? So you can look at the consequences of the decision you're making. And I think that's really important. And there are games and exercises in this.
I have games here.
Games and exercises. So practicing little things you can do that just train your intuition. I'll give you an example of when my son was small. He was about 5. And we're at the airport waiting for his mum. She's been overseas, she's flying back. So we're waiting, parked in the car, watching cars come past all the time. And I said, right, round the next corner, that corner over there, the next car is going to be a taxi. And he said, no, it's not. No, it's going to be a bus. Sure enough, a bus comes around. I'm thinking, how's he beating me with this? He's just a child, you know. And so it's a challenge between the two of us. Who's got the most right, you know? And what you're doing is you're watching hundreds and hundreds of cars come past, and as you train yourself, bang, all of a sudden your intuition starts opening up and working, you know. And it's really good. It's really effective. You can do it with anything. How many emails will I get today? I've just heard the phone go bing, so that's going to be a message from, and you finish the sentence. It's a message from so-and-so, you know. And so now it's got to the point when clients arrive for a reading, the reading starts at the front door. So when I say hello and welcome them in, I'm sensing about them, what's happening, what's going on with them, you know. And I start the reading saying to myself, the issue today is, so whatever the client's issue today is, and the need today is. So a client could have an issue which could be a work problem because the boss is demanding too much and then they're getting stressed. But the need is to be told that it's going to be okay because in a year from now they'll have another job, or the boss will move or something. So sometimes the 2 things are a little bit different. Now with this book, it's a little bit more advanced in some respects, and it shows you how to refine some of the techniques, because some people are naturally good with dreaming. You know, some people, they go to sleep, they have these dreams about the future. You know? But you can't do that in private practice as a reader, because you can't say, look, I'm just going to take a nap, and then when I'm finished, I'll tell you what your future is. You know?
You can control that sometimes.
It wouldn't work, you know. But intuition's still good through dreams for some people. Okay, Others get it through instincts. Others get it through, you walk in and you sense the environment. It feels like we were looking for houses years ago, 11 years ago, 12. And we looked at 86 houses to buy a house. And I walked in there and said to my wife in one house, divorce. And the agent just looked at me like, how did you know that? And I said, you can feel the anger, you can feel the sadness, you can feel the grief. The house was just filled with their grief.
I have a question. Do we need to have approval to reading someone, like, because their personal things they devised? Do we need have a
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, but the person. I was reading the house because I was walking in. You're walking in and you're unconsciously sensing what the house feels like. The person wasn't even in the house, but I could feel what was going on there. But it's trespassing. If you look at someone and you want to know what their life's like, and you try and step in intuitively, that's trespassing. So if a client comes to me for a reading, I only have permission to read for them until they stand up and walk away. Then I don't have any more permission.
Because they come here because you have permission to pay you.
Yeah, and that's the permission. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is, because I don't want anything from this reading to leak into the next reading, I forget everything straight away. So if a client rings me the next day and said, yesterday you said, I can't remember it. And they're thinking, but it seems so important, you were so clear about it. I still can't remember it. Because if I remember it, it's getting in the way of the new reading. You know, and you can't do that, so you have to let it go. So it's important that just occasionally an example will stand out, but and I'll jot it down quickly so that I can remember it later. But the rest of it all washes away, and you've got to do that, because if I end up holding on to all the energy of clients, that's how you get sick.
Okay.
That's both books include spiritual cleansing and spiritual protection techniques, because if you're going to develop your intuition, you're going to have to protect yourself, because there are people out there that want that energy. The more light you bring down, they want more of that light.
Looks to different content here.
Yeah, very different.
So as a final, just do you have some suggestion for the people who willing to active their intuition, and suggestion for the people who already opened their intuition, but I found someone they out of control. Like, I can't stop to do that. I like to interact with my life.
That's dangerous. That's a bit dangerous. You've got to be able to control it. You've got to be able to turn it on and turn it off. And so when I go out to dinner or parties or that sort of thing, I tell people that I'm a counsellor, which I am a counsellor, but I never talk about the clairvoyant work, because they always want readings and it's very draining. And it's none of my business, you know. People think that you're always sensing what's going on with them. No, that's beginners. Beginners do that because they're all excited. I'm feeling something about you, you know. People who do it for a living, after 5 or 6 years of doing it, it's just your work now, you know. And when you finish the work, you're not that anymore.
So you read them on these books also?
Sorry?
Like, some people, they out of control, like you said, like clean the energy or just forgot them. So you write.
Yeah. So essentially, if you're stuck with dross or negativity and you can't cleanse it, swimming in the ocean is a great way to cleanse it. Meditation is another good way to cleanse it.
I know that. Yes. Normal energy cleaning.
All those sort of things. And I use in here. I've got a bowl of water.
And
I've got a cup of sea salt, natural sea salt in there, and I change it every so often. It's due to be changed now. And so usually every week I will change that, and it's absorbing the energy in the room. So if you're having bad dreams, for instance, so if you're not sure if it's a psychic disturbance or if it's energy in the room or if it's just you, then you put the bowl of water in your room, in your bedroom, you leave it overnight, you empty it every day or two. And if after 2 weeks your dreams have improved, then it was the energy in the room. If it continues, then it's something else going on.
Wow. It's the first time I heard this way.
Yeah, and so sometimes I've had clients who come to me and I say, one particular lady, I think it's in, I don't know which book it's in, it's an example of this, but she said she'd been meditating a lot and bring down lots of light. And I said, there's a guy who lives about 3 streets away from you. He's bought a whole lot of books on magic, negative magic, and he's using them. And he's using them to tap into you while you're there at night. And she was getting more and more tired and thin. And she was I said, you've got to move away. You've got to move away from this guy. And you can't fight him. You just got to move away and close yourself down and then cleanse yourself when you're gone. And she did that. And within 6 months, she said, I'm back to normal.
Okay.
Because again, it's important that you address the scary side of it too, and not just the nice side, because otherwise you'll be taken off guard when someone, because the strange thing is, in my line of work, sometimes, I'll give a quick example of it. I had a woman rang me and she said, I'd like to learn from you about psychic cleansing and protection. I'm a professional tarot reader. And she rang me 3 times and she didn't book a session. I thought, she's not wasting my time. There must be some reason. Anyway, she came for the first session and she said, I want to be honest with you. I'd learned tarot from someone else. I said, that's fine. There are lots of people, good tarot teachers all over the world, you know. And she said she was a very good teacher. And then she was a mentor for me as I built my business. And then my business died just overnight. No, people cancelled their appointments and no new people came. I was advertising, everything stopped. I said, that's a sign. That's a sign when someone's blocking you, you know. And so she said, I went to my teacher for a session, a coaching session, and she told her what was happening, and her teacher got very upset and said, I'm sorry, I got jealous. I thought you were doing better than me, and so I did a ritual to close your business down. And so I said, look, that's your teacher, and I'm a bit sad that she did that, and she must have felt very insecure. But is it possible for you to say she's an insecure person, but she might have still been a good teacher, and then step away? So take something good, but remember to protect yourself. I said, I would never do that for you, to you, because I've learned from my own experience that you get the clients that are right for you. And I know this because I worked in a market for 2 years in Paddington in the 80s, and some days at this market there were 7 or 8 of us all in little tables beside each other, all reading at once, young, old, that sort of thing. Some people wanted the older people because they thought they've got wisdom. Some people wanted the younger people because they're trendy and groovy, you know. And my teacher was there one time, and he's from Chile in South America, and he looks like he's from India. And I saw the couples talking to each other, which one? And they're looking at him and me, and the guy said to his girlfriend, go for the Indian guy, they all know about this. And he winked at me. I'm thinking, you're South American, you're not even Indian. He said, I'm not going to argue with the client, you know. And it was just fun. And I thought, wow, how that sort of prejudice can actually work in your favour sometimes. And yeah, so it's really important that you cleanse and protect, because if you're a professional reader, chances are the people that are going to be interrupting your business are going to be your competitors. It's not going to be your clients. You know, so, and it's a scary thing. I've seen it a few times with competitors of mine. I'm thinking, guys, you know, it's not professional. You know? Yeah. Okay. So have we got enough, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's enough. Yeah. At the beginning, Paul said we maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but wow, we share a lot. So you are so lucky, because I never thought she can share a lot of examples, because sometimes you need to know the examples we can learn a lot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we have a lot of things on the books, on your lessons, on your course, but the examples is some other ways you need to learn also. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.